despite the waspish wit and the pause our Emily Dickinson, to let rest every statement, to let that sink in. Let this sink in. Here I am ironing. My words are performative only. I try and try, but the fact is, I skivvy while he skibes. I spend my Sundays heavily sedated. I put a mean crease in a pair of undies, but unfortunately they're down the front, not at the margins as he wants, so I start again and sigh, and it's much more difficult the second time. The trace remains, a palimpsest. The inspection takes place after bullseye, but before songs of praise. I prefer that to Harry Seacombe's Highway, because he will insist on singing, welshing, and of welling he's not shy. Can he not just leave it to the congregation? Does he have to put his oar in? I've a good mind to write to the producers, how it's like my Sergeant Major husband bellowing while on tour. Anyway, she says with a heavy sigh, where was I? Sprinkling the stubborn stains with vanish before redoing the gusset with grit, whistling Dixie. If I hear he's spitting feathers from expostulations made in the reading room, then I've only got one pair of hands, dear Sue, and he knows where the kettle abides. The wet drip that he married gets wrung out eventually, like a used-up chamois, and here he cries. It's funny, I never used to be so dry. My Piscean vulnerability means I'm prey deep down to complicated feelings, and I can sing but down the wrong end of a trumpet as much as I like. It still emerges as a comical part. Lusty explosions of hurt heart about my style. I use it on the strides I hold, for the moment did not tumble dried and soaked with fabric conditioner, were making play merry hell. With these at my disposal, I can wield much power though, since what after all is closer to his being than the acrylic polyester mix with the said conditioner bought from the market on the cheap. Like me, an imitation of bold. Sold for a reason, knock-off, and unsuitable for sensitive skin. The proof is in the pudding. When I see the Sudocrem by the toilet, I know then there's been much effect in action. I'll feel the consequence unfold. Because I think, to quote the poet, who is more sure of his standing than I, to not go gentle into that good night, for me means playing possum. I'm not bottle-nosed dolphin doing backflips at the prow of a ship, or leaping salmon by the river raft on adventure. I'm not a performing seal. I'm underneath somewhere, the anemone jellyfish that stings. I've laid my eggs, the kids have flown, and I've had my go on the bucking bronco at 18, salute. I've misspent some youth. I don't do desperation now. That bird has flown. We don't include throwing iron at his head, or doing silent protest. Both only aggravate. I chill. I icily engage. I ironize the why of existence. I play. To scream and shout is counterproductive, and sending to Coventry is yesterday's policy. In place of which I put my head round the door and say, would he mind if he bored just a minute, for I was flattening out a crease on the back part of his boxer shorts, and wouldn't want one to be disturbed. And he treats this with the seriousness it doesn't deserve. Sarcasm's the lowest form of wit, but I stoop to it. Dorothy Parker ain't got shit. I'm a dirtying my coop and sullying my nest, but he's completely unaware of this, and I don't care. He started it. We live adjacent, separate planes of existence, yes'm, since I first met him, just as me and the vocal dexterities of Dylan Thomas. And to tell you this shows wherewithal. And the irony about it all is that I'm telling you, and what you are is the wall. But you have to start somewhere. For you, my girl, the next step is the speaking clock.